Have you ever had that feeling that someone or something is watching you? That prickling sensation at the back of your neck, the hairs standing on end? I used to scoff at such notions, dismissing them as nothing more than the overactive imagination of an anxious mind. But now I know better. Now I know the true terror of being watched by something unseen. It started innocently enough, just subtle hints that something wasn't quite right. A flicker of movement in the corner of my eye, a shadow that seemed to linger a moment too long. I chalked it up to fatigue or stress, blaming my overactive mind for conjuring up such fanciful notions. But then came the whispers, soft, almost imperceptible at first, like the distant murmur of voices carried on the wind. I tried to ignore them, to convince myself that it was just the house settling, the natural creaks and groans of an old building. Yet, deep down, I knew better. These whispers were different, sinister in their tone, as if they carried a message meant only for me. Night after night, the whispers grew louder, more insistent, until they seemed to fill every corner of my mind. Sleep became a distant memory, chased away by the relentless barrage of voices that haunted my every waking moment. I tried to seek solace in the daylight, to convince myself that it was all just a trick of the darkness, but even the sun offered no reprieve from the shadows that danced at the edge of my vision. And then came the footsteps, heavy, deliberate, echoing through the empty halls of my home in the dead of night. At first, I told myself it was just the house settling, the old wooden floors shifting under the weight of time. But deep down, I knew the truth. Whatever was haunting me was getting closer, biding its time until it could finally reveal itself. I thought I was going mad, that the lack of sleep was finally taking its toll on my sanity. But then one night, as I lay awake in bed, I heard it, the sound of heavy breathing, ragged and labored, coming from the closet across the room. My heart froze in my chest as I realized the truth. I hadn't been alone in my room that night, nor any other night since the whispers began. I wanted to scream, to run, to flee from whatever unseen horror lurked in the darkness. But fear held me rooted to the spot, paralyzing me with its icy grip. And as the breathing grew louder, closer, I knew that there was nowhere left to hide. For in that moment, I realized that the true horror was not in the whispers or the footsteps, but in the chilling certainty that I was not alone.